Susan Clare here from GourmetQuilter.com. I just thought I'd like to tell you a little bit about a Block of the Month project that we're running this year. So this is the quilt on my right here. It's called Welcome to My World. It's a happy place. And the world is a happy place. So I think what we're going to have is a whole lot of fun this year. This is based on a fun park type of idea. So we've got lots of rides and things going on. It's all fused raw edge applique. We're going to do it over 10 months. So if you get the pattern from my website, it's going to be a downloadable pattern, but it's also going to be available in a store near you, quite likely. So what we've got is all sorts of activities. We're going to do it, as I said, in 10 months. So the blocks are not all the same size and shape. So there's a little bit of a puzzle putting it together, but it won't be hard. So we're going to start with a block like this, which will be the boat ride. There's children in here having a wonderful time on this swinging boat ride. And then we're going to do, I can't remember what order they're in, but we'll just talk about some of the blocks. This is the roundabout, so we've got children hanging around, swinging around there. So much fun. We've got a Ferris wheel where there's children, and even a boy and his dog are up here. We've got the carousel ride with elephants instead of horses this time. We've got a roller coaster, so much fun. Did you love roller coasters? We've got the roller coaster coming around the track. We've got a second one going around. We've got a train coming all the way around on that block. Lots of flowers, there's butterflies, fun things going on. We've got some side shows where there's food to buy, hot dogs and fairy floss and all sorts of fun things going on there, and a couple more up here. We've got a castle. We've got a rainbow with a pot of gold at the end of it. We've got an underwater scene, which is a huge amount of fun. We've got all sorts of things underwater, jellyfish and fish and submarines and even a shark. Well, why not? We've got the sky. We've got lots of things happening up here. We've got a mountain with some skiers on it. This is an amazing fun park. Wouldn't you just love to be in this fun park? We've got some hot air balloons. We've got people flying kites. We've got some skippers. Just so many things happening. And as I said, it'll come over the 10 months. So it's going to be broken down into things like the boat ride is one of the blocks. Then I think actually we might be doing the Ferris wheel. This one is the second block, and so it goes on throughout the quilt. So in the 10th month, we'll have done most of the applique, we'll have done all the sections, or most of it. And then we're going to be, for the 10th month, it's really just putting the pathway, and then any people who are standing on the pathway or skateboarding even on the pathway. All sorts of little things like that. So those last minute things will go on because these go over, the pathway goes over a lot of the joins where the blocks join together. So that's going in last. And I've also used here, so the fabrics I've used are just the wonderful Hoffman batiks. I've used for all the applique in the background, I've used the watercolour batiks, which they just had such wonderful colours. I love the batik for this sort of applique work. This is fused raw edge applique the way I've done it. And the batiks have that tighter weave so that they don't fray as much as some cottons can, which is really good. I've used a little narrow stripe, which is also a batik for the binding. And because I've just used that on the binding mostly, I did incorporate it into the quilt, into a couple of little t-shirts. Like this boy standing in here has got a little stripy t-shirt. There's another one over here. He's got a stripy t-shirt as well, just to bring it into the quilt. So you could put a little bit more in. I think I've got 3 t-shirts in there somewhere, or not. The other thing that I've used behind, because I'm doing it block by block, I've used a stabilizer behind so I can get all the applique stitching done. The one I use is a woven brushed cotton. Apparently not available everywhere, but it is available here. But you may find that you've got a stabilizer that you particularly like, or one that you can get hold of near you. The stabilizer just helps hold everything when you're doing the free motion sewing. So if you're doing the free motion applique like I've done, I suggest some form of stabilizer underneath your background. So that was my stripe. These are some of the delicious fabrics, and I've got it all cut out again because yes, I'm making a second one. The fusible web that I've used is Flexi Fuse, which I've been finding very, very nice to use. So it can come on the roll, it comes in sheets, so It's the glue on one side, the paper on the other, so you can trace. But the other thing is, if you're not too sure about the tracing, as an extra there is already printed fusible web, so that all you have to do is iron it onto your fabrics with all the different colours and things, and you can cut it out, so, but you don't have to do the tracing. So that's an optional extra if you wanted to do anything like that. I should just mention that when you're doing a project like this, it's a really good idea to have something to keep everything in. So I've got a nice bag here with pockets and more pockets and all sorts of little bits and pieces going on, somewhere to put things, and even a little board that comes out to work as a workboard. I find something like that really helpful with a bigger project like this. This is a pattern on my website on GourmetQuilter.com. It's called That Project Bag. The other thing I should just mention too is with the faces on the little people and some of the little signs, this one that says station, you could embroider those, but I find it works really well to use a permanent marking pen, so I often use the Micron Pigma pens. So I usually have a couple of colours for the faces, a little black and maybe a red or a brown for the little mouths. For the white marking, I'm using a gel marking pen. A lot of the gel pens are permanent on fabric, so they work really well for anything that you want to do that's white, but otherwise I'm using the Micron Pigma pens. So the pattern's available through GourmetQuilter.com as a downloadable pattern for the whole year. Each month you would get a link to download the next part. We're hoping to set up a community where you can chat and meet with others online as well, because there's people all over the place making this quilt, which is so exciting. As well as that, the pattern and fabrics will be available in a store near you, so you may find that your local quilt store already has these in stock or is getting them in soon. So do go and ask them, or of course you can buy it through Gourmet Quilter. Really, that choice is yours. It's downloadable from me, but the fabrics and other patterns and things will come through with the stores as well. So please join us. Welcome to my world. It's a happy place. Let's have a whole fun year. Thank you.